Hello and welcome to Kingdom Cooking. I am your cook and host, Romel Moore. Remember, the Lord said, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceed out of the mouth of God. We have a special dish today. We're going to be making scallop potatoes, a ginger orange salmon, and right quick, I've already did the leg work. I have a vegetable I've cut up. I have cucumbers, tomatoes, green peppers, mushrooms, red onions, asparagus, and shredded carrots. So we're gonna roast these and get the salad out the way early. We're gonna roast these for about 15 minutes. So before we put it in the oven, I wanna season it with some chili powder, just a nice dusting of it. Okay. A few crushed red peppers or red chilies. All right. Some oregano leaves. Little salt. Drizzle it with some olive oil. Don't be afraid. And slice a lemon here. A little bit. We'll put some more on it afterwards. Now, I'm gonna put these in the oven, then we'll get started on our scallops. Now, before I bring the potatoes out, I already have some baby spinach here. We're gonna cut it up for the salad. It's always best to cut up your lettuce for the salad a little bit instead of leaving the whole leaves. Take up a little too much of your space. We're gonna chop it up a little bit. Makes it easier also to chew with the salad. All right, so this will be ready when the roasted veggies come out. And last, for the salad, we have an avocado here. Just want to cut this and go right down the middle. This one is pretty ripe, so it's opening right up. Okay. Normally this take a little more effort to get out, but this one is pretty ripe. And you just want to slice it small squares. You actually can use a butter knife because it's just that tender. All right, we're gonna scoop this out. Scoop this right out. We're gonna serve this with the salad. Got the avocado ready. All right, let's get to our scallions. Now let's prepare the scallops. All right, so how I got the shapes like this is you peel a potato and cut off the edges like so, and then just cut it in half. Okay, so this was peeled. That's all I did. So I cut off the edges, then cut it in half because you want flat bottoms on both ends. All right, so before we get to the skillet, we just want to season this just with some salt and pepper. I'll season the other side once we get it in the pan. All right, there we go. Let's get to the skillet. Okay, so we're ready to begin cooking of the scallops. So we're starting with like 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm gonna add a little grapeseed oil, about 1 tablespoon. We're gonna let that melt. Then we're going to add our potato halves. Now, today's exhortation would be on grace. If you look in the New Testament, the word grace is found many times. But unfortunately, a lot of people do not understand exactly what grace is. So we're going to talk about that today. Understanding grace. So, grace has two meanings scripturally. Grace, of course, is God's unmerited favor, which means you cannot earn it. It is freely given to you. And this comes via the unconditional love of God. All right? But grace isn't limited to just God's unmerited favor, his mercy, and his kindness. But grace is also the power of God to accomplish whatever he tells you to do. All right? So let's get these in. I'm going to put it face down from the part that I seasoned. And we want these to cook. I have it on a medium high for a good 8 minutes. And we're going to season top of those. There we go. So let's give this a minute. So when we turn it over, it should be nice and crispy and golden brown, looking just like seafood scallops on the top. This is why these are called scallop potatoes, because it's supposed to, the golden crispiness on the top flat part is supposed to look like seared scallops. All right, let's turn these over. All right, see that? I want that a little darker, so we're gonna give it a little more time. All right, let's turn these over. There we go. That's the sear we want. See that? Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Hard to get in the grippity. So now they're looking like scallops. See? They're looking like seared scallops. Just bear with me flipping these. Anyway, so we're talking about God's grace. Many of us understand grace, as I said, connected to God's love and forgiveness, his unmerited favor. But his grace is also connected to his power. So in other words, when God graced you to do something, it's not just speaking to his ability to forgive you and not hold something to your account, but when he graced you to actually accomplish something, we're graced to do it. That means he has given us the power, the intelligence, the ability, the insight, the favor to get the job done. Now that we have these flipped, we just want to baste them. All right, so we're gonna let these cook because we want the other side looking just like this side. All right, so we're gonna give this another 8 minutes. All right, we're ready to take these out. We're gonna plate these. See that? Looking like seared scallops on both sides. We're gonna plate these. We're gonna let the skillet cool off, or just get another skillet. And we're going to get the sauce ready for these scallops, and then we're gonna bake it at 375 for 40 minutes. Okay, we got the skillet clean, cooled off. Now we're gonna start off with a little more butter, a couple teaspoons. We're gonna get that melted. All right. Then I have some garlic. I just sliced some thin little garlic chips. I'm gonna add those in here. And some sliced onions. And some thyme. Okay. All right. So we're gonna let that, give it a couple minutes, begin to cook. Oh yeah, that smells so good. And we're gonna add some heavy whipping cream, some cheese, heavy whipping cream, some grated Parmesan cheese, or you can use the fresh cheese. Then we're going to add the scallops back in here and put it in the oven, right? Okay. Add our heavy whipping cream. There we go. Oh, that smells good. Okay. Excellent. Now, the Parmesan cheese. So we're just gonna, you put that in there, just stir it nicely. So we want a creamy, cheesy sauce. Put the scallops in. Oh yeah, smells so good. I might add a little more salt. Okay. There we go. Now we're gonna add our scallops back in here. We're gonna put it in the oven for 40 minutes. And it's gonna cook all the way through. We already have it seared real good on both ends. Make sure it's sitting flat because we have onions in here. There we go. All right, we're gonna cover this in aluminum foil. Get it in the oven. All right, so next we're gonna prepare the salmon, but I want to show you my salad is done. We have the asparagus, the tomatoes, the cucumbers, the mushrooms, shredded carrots, the onions, lettuce at the bottom, and we're just gonna add our guacamole right in the middle. So the salad is good to go. All right. Now the salmon won't take long, so we're just gonna lightly salt, season it with some salt, and we're gonna do a light dusting of cayenne. Now I'm not doing much because we're making a ginger orange glaze for it. So I just want a nice light seasoning for it, okay? So we want to cut some lemon slices for the bacon tray. Yeah. I'm getting hungry. Now, so we're gonna line this up. 2 slices. Place these in there. Okay. Now we're gonna put it in the oven. I still have it at 400 degrees. We're gonna put it in the oven. You don't need to cover it. You know it's ready. Once on the sides, the bottom, you see the little white ooze coming out, and it's perfecto. All right, so now we're ready to make the sauce for the salmon, our orange ginger sauce. Okay, so we're gonna start off with some orange juice, about 1/4 cup. Now, I also have, I'm using lemon zest instead of orange zest just to give it a contrast. I have chopped up ginger and garlic and red pepper flakes, okay? So we'll add those in there. Ginger and garlic and lemon zest. There we go. Now, we're going to bring this to a nice simmer. Okay. Now, we're going to add a little soy sauce because we need something to balance the honey that we're adding in. Instead of using all honey, I love using brown sugar. 2 tablespoons, teaspoons. And so this is the orange ginger sauce that we're going to use for our salmon. All right. Now we want to bring this to a nice simmer. And once it begins to simmer, it will reduce and get nice and sticky the way we want it. So as this comes to a simmer, let's finish our lesson. So when it comes to the grace of God, of course, the Bible says that we're saved by grace, not by works, lest any man should boast. But along with that comes the grace to win in life, the grace to overcome sin. We can't do anything without God's grace. And unfortunately, depending on what denomination you came into the kingdom under, you may have come under a legalistic denomination that put the weight on you to overcome sin, or you may have come up under a balanced biblical teaching of what grace is, which taught you, of course, God does not want us to sin, but the Bible says if any man say he have no sin, he is a liar. So the grace of God is as you build your relationship with the Father, he graces you, he reveals to you at different stages in your life when he graced you to overcome something. Many times we try to overcome certain sins on our own just because we know it's sin and it's not right, and we try to conquer Rome overnight. It doesn't work that way. Whatever's not done of grace, you're doing it in the flesh. And Paul lets us know that we cannot accomplish the will of God in the flesh. We need the grace of God. Okay. So we're going to let this reduce. All right. So this is where we want it. Okay. That is perfect. We'll coat our salmon with. Now let's get everything out the oven. All right, let's get it out the oven. First, we'll grab our salmon. Look at that. Oh yeah. Look at that right there. All right, we're ready to plate. Have a nice salmon here. Oh yeah, look at that right there. We're gonna grab the OrangeGinger Sauce. Gonna coat the salmon with it. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Look at that.